So welcome to today's meditation time. I invite you, just wherever you have landed for these few minutes, just allow yourself to become still. Allow your eyes to gently close if that feels right. And just for these first few breaths, just really allow yourself just to be grateful for this moment. And then as you exhale and this moment passes, be grateful for the next. And let's just see if we can usher ourselves into this present moment way of being, just one gentle inhale and exhale at a time. And as you're breathing, begin to check in with yourself. Check in with the physical energy that you can feel in your body. Check in with any restlessness that you notice. Check in with your head and your thoughts. And just really accept every part of you. Maybe you need to go through and accept individual parts so that you can actually accept the totality of you, or maybe you just start with the whole you. Just whatever feels more natural. See if you can come to a point of this is how I am right here in this moment. And I embrace it all. Every physical part, mental part, energetic part. I embrace the whole me. And even if the rational, logical parts of your head don't quite agree, sometimes just saying it can make it just a little closer to being true. I embrace all the parts of me. So together, let's take this next breath in, just slowly inhaling and slowly exhaling. And breathing in and breathing out. And allow yourself to settle. And also allow yourself to adjust if it becomes necessary as we sit for just these next few minutes with one more of these great Yoga Sutras. I've shared this before and I want to say it again. There's so many times that I have encountered these texts. I have sat with these translations. And I am just amazed how there is new learning each time. I don't know if my eyes are just fresh eyes or if my spirit has moved since the last time I engaged with each one. But it is truly amazing that there's always something new each time I interact with these little aphorisms, these texts all about yoga. And it's no different with the one for today. It is Yoga Sutra 245. It's the last one of these yamas and niyamas that we've been sitting with. And it's the final niyama, the final personal observance or personal behavior. And in Sanskrit, it is Ishvara Pranidhana. Ishvara Pranidhana. And the basic translation of this into English, it means surrender. But it is so much more than our English version of that word. And so listen to this translation that says, by mastering total surrender to something greater than yourself, enlightenment is then attained. By mastering total surrender to something that is far greater than yourself, enlightenment, nirvana, ultimate peace and bliss, whatever words mean most to you, that is what is attained. Oftentimes, especially when we translate it into English, we think about surrender as this giving up, this weakness, this giving in. But the way that Ishvara Pranidhana is talking about surrender, it is giving ourselves to something greater. And the deeper we go into these yogic texts, the deeper we begin to understand the Yoga Sutras, what we realize is that this greater force, this greater entity, this cosmic presence all around us, when we can give ourselves to that force, it actually is like giving ourselves to ourselves. There is this beautiful reciprocity of us understanding that that big force in the universe is part of us and we are part of it. And so we're not surrendering to something outside of ourselves. We're not surrendering or giving up to someone who is superior that we've just given into, but rather it is an offering. And for some people in our world, I think it's so appropriate that our meditation today is falling on Easter, because there are some people whose spiritual traditions understand that entity to be God. And there are other spiritual traditions who think of other names. Some it's the universe. Some it is this big cosmic force that just holds everything together. But it's not about the name, which is why in Sanskrit it is Ishvara Pranidhana. And then you fill in the word that resonates with you. Surrender to something greater than you. And through that total surrender, you find full enlightenment. I think an easy way for us to get out of our English connotation of that word is to think about this example. Imagine a raindrop. And as a raindrop has been collected up in the sky in the clouds, all of a sudden the cloud becomes very heavy and the weather begins to shift. And then all of a sudden that raindrop surrenders. It lets go of this construct of being up in this cloud, and it begins to fall from the sky into the ocean. This raindrop surrenders to something bigger and far greater and realizes all along it was always part of that source to begin with. So just think about how beautiful that is. The ocean, so vast that our minds cannot quite take it in. From this ocean, all of a sudden, through these processes that we understand scientifically, but think beyond the science, these processes, all of a sudden these raindrops begin to accumulate in the sky, and these clouds are made, and then the clouds become heavy, and the raindrops surrender to become the ocean again. We are the raindrop. And we are hanging on to things that we think are our identity, the things to which we are attached emotionally, the things that we think are so important. Until all of a sudden a verse like this one comes along and tells us, when you can master total surrender to something greater than you, you will have reached this state that you're working so hard to find. The state of enlightenment, of ultimate peace, of bliss, of nirvana. Again, pick the word that represents the hugeness of that to you. We are the raindrop. Ishvara Pranidhana. And so we're going to just sit for just this next couple of moments and just, if you need a visual, just picture this beautiful cycle of this ocean and then these clouds forming. And think about how many raindrops are up in each cloud. And how if you were to watch the ground, you would see each one hit the ground individually. But yet as you look up into the sky, you can't even imagine each individual drop. But picture it going right back into the ocean. Total surrender. Full enlightenment. Ishvara Pranidhana. So let's just sit and just breathe and just let this resonate and just see what you feel, what you notice, what you can reflect upon, and how you can just be still. And as you continue to breathe and continue to be right in that spot where you are, again, check in with yourself. See if you've been able across these few minutes just to fully embrace how you've shown up, who you are in this moment, how you feel. And see if you can just notice these glimpses of stillness that you caught along the way. They may not have been across every moment of every breath as you sat, but see if you can see them. Just notice these glimpses of stillness. Ishvara Pranidhana. Full and complete surrender of our ego, of our attachments, of our past, of our regrets, and of our worry about what's coming next. This Yoga Sutra tells us that if we can master, really give into this idea of total surrender to something far greater than we are, that is when enlightenment comes. We are that raindrop. We came from the ocean, formed the cloud, and returned to the ocean. So when you think about Ishvara Pranidhana as it comes to your mind in the coming days, just think about, how do you define this divine force, this absolute reality in the world? Is there a name like God that has meaning for you? Or is it a word that is not quite captured in the English language and you just can't quite describe it? It's personal to you. It's your spiritual journey. It's the things that have meaning for you. What helps you to see that you are this raindrop? And as you surrender and you let go of your place in this metaphorical cloud, you return to the ocean, which is what you were all along to begin with. That is the essence of Ishvara Pranidhana. We're not going out to become something. We are returning to who we've always been. Hold that close in your heart as we go through our week this week. And see if as you go again, you can just catch these little glimpses of stillness. Catch these glimpses of pausing. And in those moments of stillness, just think, Ishvara Pranidhana. Namaste, friends.